Hi everybody. It is that time again. This is the Kiwi Club collaboration YouTube. Please, if you have not already, join and subscribe to our channels so that you can see all of the wonderful things that we are doing with Kiwi Club. All right, I am going to get into this really quick, down and dirty. The Kiwi Club this month was Over the Rainbow. And I've already taken out all my pieces because I'm about to work with them. I am going to work with these three, oops, as soon as I lose all my templates here. These three papers from the collection. Okay, I think I may actually omit this one and just use the umbrella and the raindrops, or I'll use these two. It kind of depends on how it looks. I'm going to play with it. What I'm also going to do and use, I'm going to use, this is the sketch that I've roughly done, and I've labeled out which of the templates that I'm using. It's SunnyBrook 1A, Matthew 3B, and then I will also be using up top, I will be using the Captions number 5. And then I will be using a lot of the water droplets, a la carte Splash 1 and 2 from this kit. I'm not really going to be really elaborate because this is just a simple layout for some pictures that I have. And yes, oh my gosh, I actually have pictures. So bear with me. The other thing that I wanted to kind of say and go over is one of the things that I've noticed with everybody that they are having a hard time doing is spreading out the kits. So I wanted to show you what I did. I went and I took the big pattern from the collection, the biggest, brightest, boldest pattern that was in the collection that would be considered, I guess, the primary pattern. And I took that and I went to my paper collection, and now please keep in mind I do run a store, so I do have an extensive paper collection. What I did was I chose colors that I thought would complement and match the collection perfectly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be packaging and selling these to complement this set. There are 12 sheets. There's 4 colors. Each sheet has 3 of the same color, and the reason for that is so that you can have 2 background sheets if you want to use a solid, and 1 for your photo matting or any embellishing or titles or anything else that you want to do. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that understands. If you're interested in that, please go to my channel, Sandy's Scrapbooks on Facebook, and you can find out more information about that. But that's what I'm going to be using. And I did this so that we can make our Kiwi Lane kits really stretch out to the maximum that we can get them. Susan and everybody is really, really good about showcasing how to take the Kiwi Lane club sets and really make them go as far as they can with multiple layouts and multiple organizations, and it's brilliant. It really honestly is. It's just a lot of us don't always have the ability to save every inch and scrap of paper that we possibly can, much as we all would absolutely love to do that. So I came up with, adding in that colored cardstock to help with doing that. So if you're interested, let me know, send me a message, and I will get with you on that. Okay, so here's the pictures that I'm going to use. If you're curious about the story behind the background, basically we had a tornado in our area in Mooresville, North Carolina, not too long ago, and we own a trampoline, and the wind gusts were so bad that we were about to lose our trampoline. So my husband and I went out at 7 o'clock in the morning when the wind started really starting to pick up, and had to disassemble our trampoline. So we were out there in the wind and the rain, soaking to the bone, getting it done. So it was fun. We had a good time, believe it or not. Okay, so I'm going to use Matthew, and then I'm going to use SunnyBrook down here like this. And then I'm going to take my pictures. I'm going to do one here like that, one down here like this, and one up here like that. Okay. And then I'm going to have my journaling, which I've hidden. Where did my 2 journaling pieces go? It's amazing how you can have everything right in front of you and then all of a sudden you lose it. What is up with that? Okay, here they are. I'm going to use The Greatest Day. The irony is not lost on me. I'm going to do that there. And then It's Not All Sunshine and Rainbows. I'm going to use that with the captions. I'm going to cut that there like that, and that's going to go up here. And then I'm going to take my little raindrops and splashes, and I'm going to come off of my picture there, and then do another 1 or 2 over here and here. Okay, so again, not so elaborate, not a lot of work to it, but definitely something to do. So let's go ahead and get started on cutting, and I'll decide in just a minute on whether or not I'm going to, which one I'm going to use for this bottom. I'm either going to use the clouds or I'm going to use the umbrellas. I haven't quite decided. I think if I use the umbrellas, I may not like how much purple is in there, because I'm going to be using purple to matte my photos with. And I think that if I do the umbrellas, it's going to be too much, because I want to go ahead. Oh, I got to cut this one down just a hair more. Okay, for those of you that haven't watched my videos in the past or have not seen me on YouTube or done any of my classes, I always use my mats for my photo at the full 4x6. I don't go bigger, I don't whatever. I actually cut my photos down smaller because there's always extra that you can get rid of on your photos. Like, you don't need to see my feet. I mean, if I really could cut this into a 4x4 and it would be just fine too. I just wanted the full breadth of this one to really give you the idea and understanding of how soaked we were. Okay, but like this one, I've got a good 1/2 inch up here that I could easily cut off, and I could easily chop our legs, you know. So don't think that just because you have a 4x6 photo that it has to be 4x6. Okay, that's, I think, one of the biggest things about papers and conserving paper that I run into. The other thing that I wanted to go on with that is the fact that, and I've lost my umbrella. How do I do this? How do I lose my umbrellas? Oh my goodness gracious. See, I put them off to the side. Yeah, see, so I think if I use the purple here, it's going to be a lot of purple. So I think I might just switch over to that blue, because I know I'm going to use this right there. So let's do that. And then we'll see which of the other 2 looks better. Okay, on this one, even though I'm only going to use this bottom piece, I may want a top when I'm doing something later on down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it so that I have a top border so that I can use it on another layout. All right, that's one of those time-saving things that you can do for later on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at about 5.5 inches. Okay, and I'm going to start with that 5.5 inch strip, and then I'm pretty much just going to take my template, and again, ignore where the bottom of this template is to the bottom of your paper, because otherwise you're going to have one smaller piece here and one huge piece up here. What you want to pay attention to is where this edge is and where this edge is, and you want to roughly do about 1/2 and 1/2. What I like to tell people is to take the largest point from here to here. If you were to take a ruler, okay, you take that largest point. Oops, I gotta use it right so you can see it. Okay, that is about a little over 3.5 inches. And then what you want to do is you want to take the point here to the lowest point on your template, and that should be about the same at 3.5 inches. So that's about where you want it. You want to have this height even to about this height. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to shift this a little bit so that I can trace. And you know what? I'm probably going to have an easier time of it tracing on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so I can see it better. With busy patterns, you might want to think about doing this because it's easier to see your cut line when it's on the back of the sheet. And all you have to do and remember to do is that when you're doing your templates, don't just flip the sheet over and do that, because then your template's going to be backwards from your design. I mean, sometimes it doesn't really matter, but sometimes it actually does. What you want to do is you want to just slip it behind and then flip it over. And then that gives you the right direction that you want to use your template in. So always check twice on what you're doing before you trace and cut. Always a good thing to make sure that you do, into a good habit to get into. And of course, another good habit to get into is check to make sure you're going the right direction on your paper. Which I am, so I'm okay. All right, I'll put that one aside for later use. And then this one's gonna be my background piece here, like so. I like that because it doesn't have a lot of purples in this one. So my purples are really popping up nicely against that. And I think I'm gonna use the clouds because I think the clouds will pull this down a little bit and it'll add a little bit of that blue into my layout. I think that's gonna look a lot better. Now, a lot of people would say that it would make more sense for the clouds to be up top and coming down, and I did think about that, but the way that I wanted my design, I think I'm gonna be happier with it down here on the bottom. Okay, and again, I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of that strip on the top to work with. And this one's okay to see on the front. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm going to take that high point here to that high point here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut right about there to give me my strip. And it's roughly about 3.5 inches, which is, you know, about makes sense. If you want to conserve paper and do all of that, I always suggest that you cut your strips like this first so that you're working with a strip and not your whole 12 by 12, and then that way you can kind of stretch it and you know how many borders you can get out of it and stretch it from different page to page, however many you want to create or try and create out of this. If you're doing smaller borders, I would say that you could probably get 3 borders per page if you do about 3.5 to 4 inches per border. And then, so you can kind of figure that one sheet of paper will get you 2 borders per each thing. So you get about, you'll get 3 sets of borders. Oops, and I really cut that one weird, which is fine. 3 sets of borders for 3 different pages. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit. There we go. Okay. And on that picture, I'm gonna cover up his feet a little bit. And you know what? I think looking at this, doing it at a straight angle might not be a very good thing. So I'm going to kind of tilt these pictures a little bit just to kind of get the feel of chaos going on because it was a little chaotic. Okay. And yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. So we're doing good with that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut this on this, position this nicely. Okay, now this one is easy to kind of position a little bit because there's a nice straight spot right here with some nice straight lines, and I can almost get that perfectly within, you know, the 2 guidelines there, so it's letting me get it nice and straight, which is cool. Okay, and then tracing that. Okay, I don't really know if I want to try and do these on the inside. because I think they overlap this bottom part a little bit. I may not do that. Although I probably could have shifted that down just a hair to eliminate that. I might actually do that. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and shift this down just a tad, so that if I really want to, I'm going to trace these really lightly in here, so that if I want to do something there, I can put those pieces. If I cut them out from other templates, or just not other templates, sorry, other sheets of paper, I can go ahead and do that. Okay. And add them on there. I don't really want to cut them out of this, although I could. I was looking the other day for my rain punch, and it's here somewhere, but I have no idea where. So I'm hoping I can come across that. And if I find that teardrop punch, then I'm going to go ahead and use that and then try and see if I can punch it in there. If you have a way to cheat and cut out a step or a process, by all means, please do that. Don't think that you have to only do this, use scissors and use pencils. I mean, if you've got a way to cheat, like with a circle cutter or whatever else versus rings, by all means, please do that. I mean, much as I would love you to buy the rings because they're still nice for a design purpose, if you've got a way to do it that's not a template and oh, excuse me, cutting, then by all means, do that. You don't always have to use everything, much as we would love you to, because we're Kiwi Lane and we love it. But if you have it, use it. Okay, so here we go. I might do that one totally straight, so because that's a title. All right, and then that's going to be my embellishment there. And then I want to do my little splashes out of blue. And I do have a solid blue that I can use here that I matched up. Or I don't know if there's a paper in the collection that would work or not. Let me check. Because I want it to be kind of splishy splashy. I know there's a dark blue. I don't want to do red. Yeah, I can use this. Here's the problem though. Okay, and this is where I run into problems. This dark blue is actually one of the background sheets that they give you. They have two of the same pattern. Okay, so this is where you run into the problem of, do you use this as your background or do you incorporate this as part of your patterns to use into your layouts? I personally always like using solids as my backgrounds, so I will use these as texture pieces in my layouts. And I'm looking at this one right now, and I can tell you right off the bat, the only thing I'm thinking of with this one is watermelon. I've got watermelon in my head for this, so I'm actually thinking of doing like a big watermelon slice and then using, oh, where is it? Where'd that cloud go? Oh, where'd it go? That's a great idea. Where is it? Template. Ah, there it is. And then do it, if you do like a watermelon piece or what, like that, and then do that as the bite, the chunk in to get a bite out of it. I think that'd be really cool. Anyways, so yeah, that's on my back burner. Next project. So yeah, well, sometimes ideas will come to you when you're messing around with other things. So, okay, so I think I'm going to use this for that dark blue because that'll bring that dark blue up to here as well. So get my two little guys here. Okay, am I right directions? Make sure you're on the right directions with these guys because they flip. Okay, and then I'm going to do, I want to kind of get, I want to get the little splurts going in the right direction of the drop. So I'm kind of positioning that accordingly to try and get the directions going in the direction of my drop. Okay, and then I'm trying to also use as little paper as I possibly can. So I'm going to actually line these up. They almost match up perfectly right here on this angle, so I'm going to put them together as close as I possibly can for that. Okay, see that? I'm going to go ahead and cut those. out there. And then go ahead and cut. That out. Ooh, my scissors need to get sharpened. Ooh, not good. When you go to cut and your paper folds on top of itself instead of cutting, that's a really good indication. You can see that little fold there, that your scissors need to get sharpened, or you need to suck it up and buy another pair. We've got a Fiskars dealership right around the corner from us, so I usually take my scissors down there and have them sharpen them for me. Because I figure if Fiskars can't sharpen their own scissors, yeah, we got a problem. All right, there we go. Okay, just like that. There we go. And I'll probably add a couple of more of the water drops in different places, like maybe here and maybe another one here. Make another little big one here or something. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes with the inking. Okay, this one I know I'm gonna try and bring in this kind of scallopy edge. And I have the old Creative Memories scallop puncher, so I'm going to use that on this, but I'm going to even out my sides a little bit more, so the rainbow here and the rainbow here are the same width. I am kind of picky that way. Okay, much better. And then go ahead, punch that. Okay, so again, it just gives it that little, you know, little bit of whatever to it. So I think I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. Put my templates aside because I tend to lose them, as you've already heard a couple times. Okay, now for the really big question, ink. Do I do blue ink or do I do brown ink? And I think because this is so prominent down here, I'm gonna do blue, because I think once the blue gets on the red, it's gonna turn a purple color, and then this is gonna accent blue much better as well. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and use blue, which I know I had out earlier. That doesn't mean I have it now to find. Oh, it's hiding, it's hiding, it's hiding. There it is. No. So I'm going to go ahead and use chipped sapphire. Okay, I'm going to come in. Yeah, I thought that might go a little bit purple, so it's good. It's dark, but that's okay. It was a dark and gloomy day. Again, you know, you're not restricted to just using the browns. We do recommend it because the brown is a totally neutral color. So that's why we always do promote the brown. But you can use any other colors that you so choose to give you that nice edge and finished look. It really does make a difference when you're doing layouts, when you're inking edges, because you don't think about it and you don't really realize it, but normal pattern papers and whatnot have that white core, and it really does show through and make a difference on your layouts when you convert that white core to a solid color and blend it down into whatever you're doing better, so it's not as stark and doesn't blend out as much. It's the same thing that, you know, if you were to take a white pen and do any kind of white inside of this, it would add that pop to it because that white is really going to come through. It's one of the reasons why the white clouds on this paper is so neat, because they really do pop off that page. White is an awesome color, I'm telling you what. Okay. Oops, sorry, I'm probably doing this off. I love getting off camera. I'm so sorry. You're like looking at it going, what is she doing? Okay. See, and right now you can't really see because of this type of paper, because it has these lines in different colors, you can't really see that angle. I mean, it kind of just blends in there. But when you hit it with ink, it really makes it stand out. And it makes a difference popping that up to where you can actually see that there is a design element there. So it really does do something for your pages. There is something to be said for this wonderful stuff. All right. Much better there. Okay, and then this last one. You can see how this is just kind of a stark little edge there. So once we get it nice and inked, it's going to be fabulous. And you don't always think, it's going to get on my picture. I'm bad about doing this and I shouldn't do this. There we go. You don't really think that you're inking it very much because you are inking a dark color onto a dark color, but it's there, trust me, and it's going to make a difference once you put it down onto something else. You can really see that difference there compared to that, okay? That compared to that. It is a difference. One of the things that I used to do, and I challenged my students to do, was I would always have them do 2 layouts exactly the same, and they would ink one but not the other, and then look at the 2 layouts side by side. And I cannot tell you how many people were just like, I can't believe the difference. So it does make a difference. It's hard to tell when you're doing a single page like this, but it truly, honestly does make a difference. Okay, so I think I like that, and I'm going to go ahead and stick all this down. Okay, move this off. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do when I stick this down, again, this is kind of important because of the way that you layer, is I only want to put adhesive down here on the very bottom of this. I don't even want to put anything on the sides here because I'm going to tuck this piece underneath. So I'm going to lay this one down first. Match my corners. Okay, just like that. So now I can go in and I can tuck this one in like this. And then it gives me the opportunity to really play with how much or how little I want to have showing through. Okay, and even sometimes if you have, like, let's say you had cut this a little bit short, then let's say, you know, you have gaps showing. So if I wanted to do this and I have a gap showing here and a gap showing here, I can take my picture very easily, tuck it back underneath this thing here and cover that gap. And you would never know that there's something missing there. Okay, so when you're doing this, it gives you that opportunity to kind of play around a little bit more with your templates and once you've already cut things. So it gives you the opportunity to basically, you know, kind of shortchange this top one in case you make a mistake. You know, not really a mistake, just basically a better chance to embellish. And using other types of embellishments like the accessories and things like that to cover that is always a good thing too. Okay, so do that and then get my pictures. Stay there. Another thing that I have seen lately, and a lot of people have been asking these questions, and they ask on all different sites, not just our Kiwi Lane site, is what adhesive is the best adhesive to use? And I'm going to tell you, it is entirely up to you and what you like or don't like using. A lot of people swear by certain types of adhesives, and a lot of people hate those said adhesives. A lot of people like the ATG gun, a lot of people hate it. I like it because not only is it phenomenal as far as how much adhesive is in here, because I use a lot of adhesive on my pages, but Scotch is a adhesive company. It's a professional adhesive company, and they have been making adhesive for photos and for framing picture framing for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. Their glue is acid free and archival safe. It doesn't always label it that way, but that is what the company produces for all of their ATGs, because the whole purpose of the design, oops, sorry, wrong one. Whole purpose of the design of the ATGs was originally for framers and picture makers. That's why they were designed. So that being said, all of the adhesive produced for these style of tape runners was made acid-free and archival. The scrapbooking version of the ATG is kind of a misnomer. The adhesive is actually a little bit lighter than the framing adhesive, because they know that scrapbookers like to pick things up and move them around and have oopsies. So that adhesive is actually not as strong as the standard ATG adhesive. So just a footnote for that one. The other thing that I use wet glue wise, oh wait, that one has a little thing on it, is the Scotch Create. It's the tacky craft glue that they have now. This used to be called photo adhesive. It's the same exact glue. It's photo safe, archival, acid free, all that stuff. They just put a new name on it. But it's the same glue. It dries in seconds, and it is very strong. If you have put it down in the wrong spot, c'est la vie. Good luck trying to get it up. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Let's overlap these just a hair. Okay, and I still want to get those boots in like that, so let's do that. The other adhesives that everybody else likes or don't like, Creative Memories is a good adhesive. I don't like the expense of it personally, and I am not a fan of how little there actually is in the adhesive. But it is a very good adhesive, it is a very strong adhesive, and it is a long-lasting adhesive. The other adhesive that people like and talk about is Tombow. And I will tell you, with no affinity whatsoever, I hate Tombow. They have the mono adhesive, which is, they have one that's clear and one that's white. And this is actually the dispenser for the clear one. And I hated the adhesive in it so much, I emptied out the dispenser, because I do love the dispenser. This is the perfect dispenser. But anyways, I emptied out the glue, I cleaned it all out, and I cleaned it all out, and I washed it and, rinsed it and all that with Dawn and everything. And I put my Scotch adhesive in here. So I love this dispenser, but I hate Tombow glue. I know, I'm really bad. But that's my joke for the day. So, okay, so that's there. Like that. No, I'm not gonna like that. Okay. Go like that and just keep that kind of angle this way. Let's do that. Let's keep that angle going. Shall we? All right. And then this can overlap that. And there you go, like that. And I think I'm going to put 2 more dots there. 2 more raindrops there. Because I think that'll really... I think that'll work. And it'll bring that continuity of those drops to that other side and bring some of that blue and repeat that blue. I think that's important. But not everybody does, but I do. Oops. Traced my finger on that one. Okay. And if you don't like them, you can always move into another page, use them on something else, and stash them for later. Oh, speaking of stashing for later. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Totally Tiffany has this organizer, and it is her Totally Craft organizer thing, and I'll get the name of it and the link for it in the comments. But it is such an awesome organizer because what you can do is if you have border pieces that you have left over from kits, you can fit them in these little pockets, and then you can put accessories in here. You can do whatever. You can put your tags and sayings that you don't use in the different pockets. And then what that will do is that will keep all of your kits, like you can put all your little tags in here. Okay, and that keeps all of your kit together in one little place. And then what I like to do is I will find kits from past Kiwi Lane that I have not used or finished using everything except for like maybe 1 or 2 pieces. And then I'll go through my new Kiwi Lane kits and I'll see which kits those old pieces can kind of match into. And then I'll put them together in this organizer. And then I'll put my big sheets and stuff in here. So these are really, really cool organizers to put your Kiwi Club kits and everything else in. And then you can take the title piece and you can actually put the title piece on the inside of this so you can see what it is you're putting in there. If you have those regular sheets from, what is it, Plastic Bags and More? Oh, excuse me. If you have those, then you can use those as well. And they're obviously a very cheap solution to organizing and keeping all your Kiwi Lane kits together so that you don't lose any of your pieces and mix it all up with any of your other stuff. If you look on, there's a Get Organized challenge that Totally Tiffany has that's really awesome. And she has lots of different organizational ways to do different things with, you know, how you organize your Kiwi Lane, how you organize all your dies, stamps, all that other kind of stuff. So it's a really awesome challenge if you haven't already tried one. And you don't have to go along with the challenge all at the same time. You can actually do it at your own pace and just go step by step as you have the time and inclination to do that, which is really cool too. So I am a Totally Tiffany buff, and you know, we use Totally Tiffany products obviously for our stamp, our not stamp, sorry, our stencil storage and our accessory storage and all of our different templates. So I do highly recommend her products. All right, there we go. It's looking good. Okay. And then do this. Or come down probably this way with it. Oh, yeah, there we go. I like that. Okay. Just like so. Okay. Might even be cute to have another one here. Ooh, let me see. I done lost that other one again. I'm telling you, these things just walk off. Okay. Well, I don't know if a third one would be good or not. Well, it never hurts to try. Never hurts to try. Alright, I'm keeping with that same rain movement here. And again, you know, remember, you can flip these around and move them how you need to accommodate your layouts. They don't have to be totally perfect. You can make them smaller, you can make them bigger. You can do whatever you want. And there is another paisley type of template in the Celebrate. At least I think it's, yeah, I think it's a Celebrate one. All right. actually like how easy these are to really cut out. These ones are nice. Nice and simple and not a lot of things you got to worry about doing. Just little drops. And there we go. I'm gonna make that a little bit more drastic. There we go. Much better. Okay. And again, you don't have to worry about erasing your pencil lines. Your inking will hide that, especially with the darker inks. If you are working with a lighter ink, yeah, you do need to kind of erase those lines, otherwise they will show up. Okay. Play. No, it's not too bad. Still kind of want to do it more this way. And then have this. Okay. Let's see, maybe hide one. No, I don't think that has the same effect. Like so. Oh, there we go. Okay, I like that. With that just a tad. With just a tad. All right, and there it is. Okay, so that's what I like, and that's how it is. What I am also going to do is I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to pop them up with some pop dots just to give them a little bit of height, kind of like they're coming off the page. Okay. Again, pop dots are a dime a dozen. Everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody has got their own type that they like. Again, this is a Stampin' Up! Pop dot, and to me, those are my go-to because I like the height, I love the adhesion, and I love the fact that you use the whole entire thing. You don't have all this little itty-bitty spaces of everything that you don't or won't ever use. And that kind of stuff drives me crazy. It's waste. I don't like waste. We don't like waste. Okay, let me see. Was I this way? Was I this way? This way. Okay, let's put this guy, let's get him down. Oops, I almost put it on sideways. Oh, that'd have been funny. Okay. Okay, then do this one. Now this one is a journaling tag, and because it's going to go in behind it, I didn't journal first because I didn't know where the edge was going to be when I put it behind it. So keep that in mind when you're doing tags and things like that, and especially with journaling tags. Because if I move this picture over here, if you had journaling here, you'd never see it again. So remember to journal after, or at least know where your journaling spot is marked. If you were going to put it behind a picture and you wanted to make sure that you put your journaling in the right spots and your picture was here, just draw a line where your picture is going to overlap so you know where not to write over that line. Okay. Like so. Okay, and this one will go under there a little bit. Okay. And depending on the company, some of these tags from companies are hard to get off. Some are easy. But if you have a price sticker or something on the back, I do try and take it off, because I don't know how acid or archival free their price labels are. So I don't want that showing through. So I take that off. But you can see, like on here, you can see a little bit where the adhesive has left a discoloration onto the paper. So that's the kind of thing that I worry about. I don't want to leave that on there for a long period of time. Okay. Come here. There we go. Oh, I like that too. Let's do. I like that too. Let's do that way. It's kind of a different direction. Maybe go onto the picture that way. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Okay. See, so sometimes, you know, changing something else as you're putting it together again. You gotta do something different. Happy accident. Okay. Get on there. You know, a crazy thing too, and just something that occurred to me as I was showing you the adhesive underneath the thing and getting adhesive on my fingers. It sounds crazy, and not a lot of people talk about it, but wash your hands before you start scrapbooking, because you don't realize exactly how much oil you have on your hands. And when you're holding and touching all your papers and things like that, you're going to transfer some of that oil onto your papers. And it may not show up now, it may not show up in 10 years, but, you know, 20, 30 years down the road, it can really have an effect on some of your stuff. So just keep that in mind. They used to actually make a glove that people would wear. It was like a white cotton glove when they were scrapbooking, because of that, because you do have oils and stuff in your hands. But I think people, you know, when you can't get your fingernails under something to glue something down or whatever else, I think it got kind of annoying for people, so they stopped using it and stopped buying them. But if you actually do watch either professional photographers or framers or whatever else, they wear those gloves specifically because they don't want to transfer those oils to your pictures. So there is a reason for them. So, but, you know, for our intents and purposes, just wash your hands and use a good soap that does not have a lotion base or anything like that to it, because those add oils as well. And if you are using like hand sanitizers and things like that, that'll dry your hands out too. So now with COVID, I guess it's not as much of an issue because we're all hand sanitizing up the wazoo. So there we go. And last but not least, my title. Okay, that's pretty straight, right? Nope, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna put this one straight. All right, there it is. So there you have it. Again, I hope you like it. Please continue on with the next video in the line. And at the end, comment on all of our different videos, because the more you comment, the better you have a chance of winning something in the end, because we do offer a prize to everybody that watched and participated in our wonderful little compilation of Kiwi Lane Creative Partners. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you later.